같이 한번 예. 자, 하트 한번 해주세요. 하트. 코.
You can call me Mita. Black hair with tie, hiding in your Wi-Fi. Oh, 10 seconds when I want can find me. Yeah, your music running through my mind. I'm thinking Mita, Mita, only you. 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 I'm on top of the world because of you. All I wanted to do, yes, follow you. I'll keep singing along to all of you. I'll keep singing along.
All right, hello, welcome back to another stream. And we're gonna talking about more Johnny Somali, MADEIn and Japan getting fed up with similar people as Johnny. So here we go.
So let's get into it. So as you know, he's already been, he's already committed this crime related to the deepfakes. Obviously, I don't want to show them. I don't want to reproduce them, but he's done deepfake images of the streamers in
Which again are illegal, to be reminded.
Japan, in Korea. So he's done them of Dalgoon, of Bang TV, J Company, all those guys. He's made deepfakes of them that are sexual, people kissing, all that sort of stuff, people kissing Johnny Somali and kissing each other, etc. He also did a sexual deepfake of Bong Bong IRL, who filed a report. So all these things are out there, and we talked in depth about why deepfakes are punished and why deepfakes are so serious. But one basic premise that is often forgotten, especially by those in the US and even neighboring countries like Japan, which has no such restriction and a wild industry, is that pornography is actually illegal in Korea. Let me say that one more time. Is illegal in Korea. Now, I'm going to go over the parameters of exactly what is illegal, because you might say, well, hold on, Andrew. I looked at the gooning statistics. Yes, gooning statistics. There's, if you've watched my Destiny coverage, we're talking about having to bring in gooning experts. But now on the Somali coverage, we're going to talk about gooning statistics. If you talk about the download of pornography.
What's up, my feller gooners?
South Korea is pretty high, but the real thing that's prohibited is the distribution and promotion.
I mean, heck, they made Cellblade, Nikki, Goddess of Victory, so yes, there's gooning.
And creation of such materials in Korea. That's the real key, is promoting, distributing that level of operation. Let's cover what he did. So this is in his Discord, obviously, and we've got this image here. Now I have censored this because YouTube is gonna, this is in the naughty camp.
Would probably hit you
Camp for YouTube here. But as you can see, this is pulled up. It's the edited version here.
Oh,
but Johnny Somali, and I'm sure you guys are very creative. You're very creative at home. You can probably fill in the words here. And I'm also not going to promote the actual website, which is why I blocked it out. But you can see here, this is posted by Johnny Somali.
Probably a good thing. So you can probably figure out what that
means. He posted a link, publicly sharing it to a group, promoting it, right, with his name on it, right, saying free Ebony, and I'm going to let you fill that in, and black, and I'll let you fill in the word that begins with P, right, videos. Watch free Ebony and P videos, exclusive erotic content on the website, right? So, I mean, you guys can figure this out. You're very intelligent people. You can fill in this in. I'm sure you can fill this in. So, and then he proceeds to follow that up, the follow-up text messages here, which I can show you guys in full. and make it way, way worse, is that, and he is that the clear promotion here of
Broadcasting emergency channel.
Okay.
uh, saying, I need all my ninjas to goon. Next business venture.
Israel? Is that what you're trying to say?
He literally went out of the way to say it's his business venture. So there was some plausible deniability because, oh, it's not mine. It's not mine. He literally confessed to this being his business venture. So that's illegal in Korea. And let's get to the act on where it's illegal. It's actually in the Telecoms Act. So they had a very broad Telecoms Act, which prohibits
SK Telecom?
a lot of things and a lot of unlawful information and unlawful behavior. And specifically under the Korean Act on Promoting Information and Communications, you have here, and I'll try to zoom in. I know it's going to be a little, I know it's not going to be perfect here, but I will try my best. So you have here, no one may circulate information on any of the following subparagraphs. So these things are prohibited. You cannot do this. Number one, and this is it, information with obscene content distributed, sold, rented, or displayed openly in the form of code, words, sound, image, or motion picture. So essentially, that would include the nudes. And if you look at the punishment for this, the punishment for this is, if you're liable for this, imprisonment with labor for up to 1 year, or
So cabbages?
by fine and not exceeding 10 million won, which is about $7,000, right? So up to a year in prison and a fine for a person who distributes, sells, lends, or openly displays any obscene codes, letters, sound, images, or motion pictures. So essentially,
if he gets caught, he either has to pay basically $10,000 or 10 million won in this case, or a year of labor. So Cabbage Patches, anybody?
this is a violation of that prohibition. Now, to be very clear, as I said, there's a lot of downloading of naughty material, spicy material in Korea, but the downloading is actually not what's illegal. They don't prosecute folks as far as I know, and once again, I'm not infallible. I'm not a Korean lawyer, but as far as I've researched and looked into, it really isn't the downloading that's as much of an issue. It's the distribution. And when he says it's his business venture and he's trying to encourage all of his homies to goon, and he's posting this up, openly in a group Discord, promoting this while he is physically in Korea, indisputably. Ramsey Khalid Ismail is in Korea, and he promotes this. That would violate that statute. That would go over and violate that. So that would be another potential year on the track. Now, you could say, Andrew, is this something that they take seriously? Well, they've actually had some cases, in fact, some really big cases where people have been jailed over this. So this was back in 2019, but there was a site called Soranet, which was actually it involved also spy cams and women that didn't have consent, but they were sentenced to jail. One of them, I believe, got 4 years in jail, and the other got some jail time and some fines over there. So they have seriously punished people in South Korea for distribution of pornography. So this is not something that's a joke. And where I think this really fucks him, especially at this point, is with the deep fakes. Because if the police are on...
Yeah, the deep fakes probably is the worst one because you're making someone do something that they actually wouldn't do. because you're editing a video or image of someone doing some act that they had never done.
On the fence, if the prosecutors are on the fence about the deepfakes and then they see him creating a porn website,
then oh boy, he is dead.
I think they're going to be concerned. And if you guys want to see one of the most crazy things or research it, I don't even want to talk about it on this channel because it's so dark and so fucked up and so twisted. But if you guys want to just Google the Nth Room scandal, just look it up. It's really dark. You may have seen it. I think there's a Netflix documentary talking about it. There's definitely YouTube videos talking about it. Look up the Nth Room scandal. It involved, a lot of sexual blackmail and, pornography and all that sort of stuff. And some of it involving minors in Korea. Some of this stuff can be dealt with pretty serious because it's a dark road when you start going down it. And they're very wary of anything that can head down this direction. And when you start coupling running a porn site with, hey, this person is known to have distributed deepfakes, I think that gets prosecutors more concerned. So this certainly doesn't help Somali, and why he would choose to push this 10 days from his trial date is absolutely insane. It's absolutely crazy. It's something where even if he did have a lawyer, I mean, certainly I guarantee you he didn't tell his lawyer he was distributing porn and promoting pornography. I think that makes it more and more likely that we eventually see something related to the deepfake charges at some point.
Okay, that's it. We will actually cover the Nth Room next week. Because it is an hour long, and I don't have that long left. I mean, I actually do have a while. But we have this next one, which is, the Japanese people going,
All right, let's get over to what's happened. So this is posted over here. I think it's posted by Cancel Johnny S. Let me give him some credit here, even though he's got a watermark on everything to get credit there. But this is him posting. He posted this recently. The nuisance streamer Ice Poseidon and his gang have returned to Susukino and were confronted by a Japanese person who noticed them and had to be rescued by police. Sam Pepper was one of the streamers. Let me pull this up. Fled Japan for 100 days after suspending streaming due to fear of arrest. Just like Korea, the situation changed when the clip was reported on the news. Let's watch this here, guys.
Hey.
So obviously this is from the perspective of Ice Poseidon. And let me just say real quick, because I want to be very clear. Obviously, the big issue in these situations is, number one, touching people. That can be assault, right? So if you're putting hands on people, that can be an issue. Also, recording their face without their consent. That's also an issue, right? Really should be blurring anybody who hasn't given their consent, because that is another issue here.
Deja vu. Where's the fucking police at, bro? Hey, Deja vu. Hey, Deja, go get the police, man. Police.
So that's Ice Poseidon asking for the police. And one thing I will say, once again, I try to be honest about my coverage here. It seems like Ice Poseidon knows what's going on here. He's kind of seen this before, and he's being decently smart about it by trying to de-escalate, trying to call the police, trying to get it broken up, because he knows it could go sideways and could end very, very badly. And Daijobu is, in case you don't know, it's both the word for like, you can use it for no, essentially, but also like excuse me, or like kind of like an I'm sorry, like a version of a sumimasen, right? So you can use it that way. Pronunciation is quite bad, but he's trying there. My pronunciation isn't great either.
Deja vu. Say, hey, they're trying to bait you, bro.
Because they are trying to get him to push him, because if he pushes them, then they definitely can press criminal charges. Also likely they would jump him and beat him up too. I mean, probably wouldn't matter there. But yeah, he could definitely press charges if he swung on him for sure.
It's all part of the plan, bro. They're trying to bait you.
Yeah, so they're trying to bait him because then they could actually do something.
Yeah,
Bro,
so
back up.
he's also using it in that for, hey, it's fine, it's okay. Yeah, it's a very multiple purpose. It's a very multi-purpose phrase. It's one of the most useful phrases in all of Japan.
Baby, see, they're trying to bait you. They're trying to bait us. Get back, ABC. Get back, ABC. They're trying to bait us. Every time. This is what I'm saying. They're trying to bait, bro.
See now it's blurred, but it wasn't blurred before. So you see that.
Trying to bait, bro. They trying to bait, bro.
And also, like, the police is here, and I think that blur might just be due to the connection and the internet, right? Not because anything active, but now the police show up.
They trying to bait, bro.
Guy in the mask here. I think it's a cop.
Don't touch my friend.
They trying to bait, bro. What's that? Why? Who's this guy?
So they get confronted, they get pulled off. This is in Sapporo, of course. This is a little bit later. So you can see right there, they're being confronted, right? They're being confronted, they're being pushed off, right? And this is something that's happening repeatedly wherever they go. And we're going to get into another one in Yokohama in the Kanagawa prefecture, which was, this is a very recent one where they get run off again. So let's get into the next one. Now, this is a video that just happened in the Kanagawa prefecture. And I just want to show you once again, this is demonstrating what I'm trying to demonstrate here is that Japan is aware of the streamers. They're aware of the annoying behavior and their tolerance for it is going down. These incidents didn't happen a year ago. Japanese stores didn't kick these people out within 30 seconds, within 2 minutes, within, whatever. They didn't call the police immediately. You're seeing, and
Yeah, they used to be, from what I saw, very tolerable until Johnny Somali happened. Then he did what he did in Korea. They banned him for 5 years. Other people came, and regardless if it's in good faith or not, they're still going to probably, if you're streaming, they're probably going to maybe bully you a little bit.
And we're going to see in this case, and this is pretty amazing, within about 2 minutes, the police, within about probably 30 seconds, the police are called. They show up in like 2 minutes. So this is pretty amazing in how quickly the police respond here and show up. Watch this. So they're in McDonald's. First of all, he was filming people that were just in line, right? And they were just waiting in line at the McDonald's, which you shouldn't have been filming. All these people are getting caught that shouldn't be filmed. But beyond that,
no, no problem.
Yeah.
so trying to tell them, hey, like, you guys can't stream, and then over here you see he's pointing clearly, the employee clearly pointing at the streamers streaming, right? Because they're identifying this almost immediately as an issue.
Janai? No, me.
Once again, it's pretty impossible. I mean, even if they try, it's pretty impossible to just get themselves in the streams, and that's never what happens in reality. Let's be honest.
Come inside. Rest again. What do you know? Look who it is, the famous guy.
He's annoying.
Hey, 10 more, by the way.
So they're all here, mind you, they're all here streaming. They're all heel streaming each other, the store, everybody else in the store. And mind you, like, once again, note the level at which they're talking and yelling. Just note that.
Knee guards.
See, once again, this is this is another streamer. This is another streamer who actually came there to Japan, and this is what he's sending in. Because a lot of times well, at least it looks like it is another streamer. Probably is. I don't know. That's sending that in. I mean, the chat kind of speaks for itself, right? It's back on speaks for itself. Let me go ahead here. Okay, hold on. So you got a staff member up here. Hold on, let me point here. Okay, so you've got another confrontation by the staff member who's coming up and he's confronting them and being like, yo, you can't stream. This dude has a fucking camera on his head. This dude has a camera on his head. Like, I don't know.
Everybody.
Okay. Okay. We call you back after the demonstration. Okay. I love you, man.
I'll be honest. I'm gonna go.
あとね、注文してない人もいるから。
He's telling you, it's pressing you. No stream.
Yeah, so telling him not to stream. And are any of them listening? All of them are still streaming. All of them are still streaming. None of them are listening to this.
Exactly.
Kick him out.
Must be nice to be able to end the stream and fuck your girlfriend. I wish I could fuck my girlfriend. I wish I could fuck my girlfriend. I can't even fuck my girlfriend. So, I mean, there's 20 cameras, dude.
Okay, after the card, okay? Oh, just relax. Just relax.
More and more just keep showing up. There's nothing he can do about it. We have the power. Not
So like, you know, we have the power. Okay, wait like 10 more seconds.
him. We have the power. The police?
So I like that part. It's, you know, we have the power. We're in charge. And then, the police?
Oh, what the?
Oh, look, the police are here. Well, it looks like, in fact, dude, you do not have the power. The police do have the power, right? You're not in charge here. The police, in fact, are a little bit more in charge than you are.
Okay, we're out of here. Nate, did you get that? Kamakura. Not a disaster. Not a disaster. It was fun. Oh, thanks.
See, so in fact, the police kick him out right there. You got the police kicking him out. So once again, you know, while they weren't charged with anything criminally, let me be very clear, they weren't charged with anything criminally, although in Korea, you know, they could have been definitely charged. I mean, from my understanding of Korean law, with obstruction. Now, I'm not as familiar with Japanese law, and I haven't gone over this video with a Japanese lawyer, so I'm not comfortable saying whether this was or wasn't obstruction, or, you know, whatever, obstruction of business. Could have been. From my understanding, the same behavior in Korea. If they're told to leave and they don't, or told to stop streaming and they didn't, in Korea, that would be presumptively obstruction. Whether that's not in Japan, or whether there's precedent for that in Japan, I'm not as familiar, but you know, definitely a situation where they're aware of it and the businesses are not putting up with it. So all of you guys,
I mean, clearly they're fed up now at this point, because, I mean, who can really blame them? At this point, it's been, what, a year since the Johnny Somali thing, and then now they're just tired of it. So, can't really blame them at this point.
as mentioned, wouldn't it be hilarious if the government got involved? Wouldn't it be hilarious if they're cracking down? Now, we talked about this woman before, the account Nana0504. She is a lawyer and has high-level government connections in Japan. She's now been paying very close attention to this case and been forwarding over a lot of this information, been pushing this to police, local law enforcement, involving nuisance streaming in Japan. So she's been looking over here at the IP crew, and this is what she posted. And I just found this one today. Ice Poseidon has been playing the online casino every day, which has been a hot topic when the Yoshimoto talent was investigated. So essentially, this shows them watching casino games. Now, mind you, online casino gambling is illegal, right, in Japan. But there's more. And this is what Tank Rap brought up. So finally, somebody pointed out the thing I've been talking about for a while, which is if you're a regular person just coming in and out for a couple of days, no one's going to give you flack for streaming, even if you make money on it. But the problem is they're there for a very long time and they're on tourist visas. And so this is her, not me, not anybody else. This is her saying this. The Ice Poseidon group is working illegally on tourist visas. They are all helping promote the Contra Gold Casino. It is said that he was heading to Osaka, and there are rumors that he'll be heading to Kagoshima from Osaka on the Sunflower. And then pointing out here, they're working illegally on a tourist visa. They're paid hourly by Kick and Stake to promote illegal gambling in Japan. Also, Action Man is directly paying his American camera person to film him, and that person is physically earning a wage in Japan illegally. So pointing out...
Oh, so they don't have a tourist visa. They don't have a work visa. Tourist visa, which is a tourist visa, and you shouldn't really be doing anything else on there. But yeah, so let's see.
Something that normally you'd be able to slide on, and they're finally saying, hey, look, we're paying attention to this. And in a normal situation, they would completely get away with this. But now that there's so much heat on them, they're saying, wait a second, this is illegal, right? And they're saying, we might want to take a look at this, right? So once again, the Japanese people are getting involved. The Japanese government officials are getting involved. Lawyers are getting involved. When that starts to happen, you know that the ball is rolling in that direction. Well, we've got more. We're not done with rudeness in Japan. Now, this one has nothing to do with Ice Poseidon, has nothing to do with that group at all whatsoever. It's just tourists. Now, in this video, which has circulated pretty widely now, I need to give some context. So you're going to see a Japanese man confronting tourists. I believe the woman was smoking where she should clearly not have been smoking, and was doing it like in a public area. In an area where you shouldn't have been doing it. So obviously you're going to watch how this Japanese man confronts them pretty aggressively here for rude behavior. This is something I would have not seen in Japan 10 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. But you can see here the lack of patience. Let's play this.
Don't smoke. It's not. It's private. Sorry, what story?
I beg your pardon.
But
I did not know.
It's
It's
so prohibited.
Oh.
Hey, don't yell at her.
What?
Don't yell at her. She didn't know.
Didn't know?
No, it's her first time.
What? Look, it's so prohibited. Of course.
Fucking crazy, man.
What? What?
You're going to touch her? I'll knock you out.
What?
You don't talk to women like that.
Look, women don't. Look, if you try to like nicely, you don't smoke.
Yeah, you don't talk to women like that either, mate.
So, don't smoke.
See, so just calling them out, that is so rare. Seeing this right here is incredibly rare.
And then you have a white knighty person, or just trying to call them sexist. I don't know. It's like, you're a tourist. You should, when you're going to places, especially in foreign countries, you should see what's allowed and what's not. And especially big cities and big sections you're wanting to visit in that country itself. It's like, you should know what is allowed and what is not allowed.
Rare. This is incredibly rare. Seeing these confrontations is something I just don't see. I don't see this in Japan very often. But seeing that behavior just shows, hey, look, they're done with this. They're going to be calling people out. And if you're doing something rude, at this point, they should be called out, right? No, I mean, once again, it's covering for bad behavior. There's a way to say, hey, look, we get it. Sorry, right? But kind of say, hey, look, I'll knock you out. Well, if he did, he'd be in a Japanese jail. Let me see here. The last part I want to get to you, because, there was this sign that was posted.
Yeah, so try to knock out that Japanese person in Japan and see how that goes.
I reposted this, and I think I've talked about this on stream, but you have here, this sign in Sapporo, which said, due to the continuing trouble, we are not accepting customers from overseas. So this was actually in Sapporo because of the nuisance streamers there. So they said, hey, we're not allowing people in. So you had this modern tourist, this guy here, who said, I was told Japanese people are not racist. Okay, silly me. Imagine if the USA had signs up like this. Buildings would be looted and burned. Keep up the lies, though, Japan Twitter. So calling Japanese people racist for putting up these signs.
Yeah, I would not advise calling Japanese people racist. Here's a little thing that you might not be aware of, though. America is a melting pot country. Japan is a mostly Japanese country. It's mostly Japanese people. America is not only specifically one race, language, or people. Where Japan is mostly Japanese.
Because our staff can only speak Japanese only, sorry, we don't allow customers from overseas in the bar. This is a shop exclusive for use of a Japanese only. Sorry, we decline foreigners to enter. Attention, we are sorry, we only accept Japanese. Let's be very clear, guys. Let's be very clear. This is completely legal in Japan. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not your country. You can't do anything about it. And no amount of whining and coping and seething is going to change this. And there are many reasons why they might want that. Like I said, you have no idea about the culture and customs of Japan. You're a stupid tourist, most likely, if you're complaining about this. If you're somebody who knows Japan, in fact, like most of my friends have been expats there for years, some of them decades. I have a friend who's been there for 20 years, 30 years. I know a guy who's been a expat. My good friend Max's a good friend, a friend of his, who's an author there, who's been there for like 50 years, right? Even they, 50-year expats that speak Japanese, maybe they have a Japanese wife, or if it's a woman, Japanese husband, whatever, right? They've been there for forever. They're still not allowed in because they want to keep it that way. They want to keep it to people that just know.
Japan has some bars and sections that say Japanese only, no foreigners, because they want a Japanese only bar. It's not that hard to understand.
The culture, know the language, understand, and don't have to, bother with other folks who might behave in different ways that Japanese really just don't want to be disturbed about. And maybe they just want peace and quiet. Maybe they just want it to be Japanese only hear Japanese. They don't want to hear English, don't want to hear anything else. That's their right as a business to do that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And is this the majority of places in Japan?
And it's also not racist as well, since Japan is Japanese.
No, it's not. It's a uber minority. It is such a minority that, once again, I was on a trip, saw it 0 times. 0 times. The only time I usually see this, and I talked about this with Josh, I usually only see these type of signs in Golden Guy in Tokyo. Shout out to Golden Guy. I do love Golden Guy. There's nothing wrong with this at all whatsoever. And once again, in Japan, nothing illegal about it. You can burn and loot in the United States, although I might not recommend that right now. I think you might end up in some trouble if you started burning and looting. But this is not something that would cause any sort of fuss in Japan at all whatsoever. And most Japanese are okay with this as well. They don't have a problem with it.
How do you sleep at night? Mattress from Mattress Firm. So I sleep.
Yeah, so that's not a problem. Nor should it be. Okay, now. Oh. Okay, that said, on the MADEIn stuff. Okay, so we have a hey moment, which is a set in Germany, but hey, no. So you have that. Okay. For issue. So let's get this said. I'm not gonna link this, but we're gonna. This is these two is a project we're doing or Protect MADEIn is focused on. And hey, if you wanna look at you know, and it's also the so yeah, so that's that. Oh, actually, one more thing I wanted to actually react to, since we should have. Oh yeah, let's do this one.
A 3% IRA match. Tremendous.
The Zaxby's Chicken Philly is
Sorry
back.
about the ads.
Who's got the sauce? Zaxby's.
All right. So the first thing I want to jump into is Johnny Somali being back. Now, some of you have already seen this. Some of you already have watched this, but we're going to get into his first video back. Now, one of the questions that people asked me about this was, how is he streaming? Like logistically. They said, well, didn't they take all of his equipment? How is he streaming? Well, two things. They took his equipment. The police took Johnny Somali's equipment. They took his phones and I believe some of his cameras as well. But they took them for the purpose of evidence. They didn't take them thinking they're going to permanently ban him from picking up another phone ever. And they didn't explicitly ban him from picking up another phone ever. What prevents him is, or what legal side of it is his visa, or really lack thereof a work visa. We'll talk about that in a second. But they didn't take Hank's phones. They didn't take phones from stores. They didn't go to every store in Seoul and confiscate every phone or every camera, etc. He could go out there and legally purchase another phone or a camera, and technically he can start recording whatever he wants. His phones that were taken for evidence purposes, not because they thought that the taking of that alone was going to prevent him from streaming. I hope that clarifies. And to be very clear, as we're going to see, he is clearly in Hank's apartment, because of course we called this months ago that they were clearly cuddle buddies, and it's now visually confirmed for us. It's not just me saying it, right, or people that know saying it, or clear confirmations from Hank, who said that I am with Johnny. We showed that a stream or two ago. It's not just words. We see in visual clarity that he is in the exact same location as Hank. They're together in Hank's love shack in Seoul, doing all these shenanigans, right? So he posted to a YouTube channel. Now, here's the thing. This is clearly ban evasion, because he is banned off of YouTube. So he is trying to pop up on another channel and stream. So clearly there's some ban evasion going on there. YouTube, I'm sure we'll get on it. I'm sure he'll get nuked on YouTube soon enough. If it's not already happened, it'll happen soon enough. My understanding is that his intention was to stream on Party and or Rumble, but neither one of those have great monetization. So everybody wants to be on a bigger platform like YouTube, like Twitch, like Kick, because the monetization is better on those platforms. Of course, Kick is a platform that has permanently banned him, and they've said they're not going to let him back, period. And that's been said by, people within Kick, the staff themselves, privately. It's also been said publicly by a lot of the streamers, including the people he's trying to get.
Honestly, that's the best decision, is not allowing him back, because I don't think he deserves to be back, because you are harassing Japan to the point they're fed up with streamers. you also decided to insult, Japan as well, and to talk about Korea and kiss the bronze statue of the memory of the comfort women to the point you could be facing at least 1 to 5 years in jail. You do not deserve to be back on any streaming platform. But hey, I don't think you deserve to be kicked off so we can actually tell you what you're doing. But this is a good decision of not being allowed back. At least that's my opinion on it.
Banned, including people like the Ice Poseidon crew in Japan, right? They've all said, yeah, he's banned from Kick. And I had another people messaging me. Xena messaged me, who's one of the girls who, confronted him in Hongdae. She said, hey, look, he's banned. And she even went as far as saying he's banned in CX as well, even mentioning him, even dropping my video link was too much, right? They don't even want my video criticizing Johnny because they don't want anything to do with him. It's like full term ban, like Johnny Somali, good, bad, nothing, that you can't talk about this guy, period. He's gone. He's completely purged, right? So there's a lot of folks that have disassociated with them, and he is salty about that. Let's play that. Everyone's blowing up over that now.
Hello to the people of Japan and the people of the world. I want to make this message because I've been gone for a long time. Let me introduce myself if you don't know me already. I am Johnny Somali. I am part of the criminal nuisance live streamer gang called CX. I am a high-ranking member in the black sheep of the family. We are ran by our top leader, Ice Poseidon. He's the leader of CX, and Miss Kiff, the leader of OTK. We are part of a live streaming
Okay, so let me correct something right here. Okay, so he is not part of CX. He's been banned from CX. So he is
what would we call a smear campaign, or trying to claim yourself this so the other people get in trouble?
Yeah, so just to be very clear, he is not allowed as part of that. If you mention him, you will get banned. In fact, I saw the screen cap of Johnny Somali getting banned, like any talk of Johnny Somali being banned from that. So this is this is so now, was he at some point? That's different, but currently that's not true. Another question I got, and this is a very good one, is what is this flag? So people were questioning what this flag is.
I thought it was like a meme China flag originally when I first saw it, because you could see the star. Then I thought,
because people kept saying, oh, it's not China and it's not North Korea. Well, people didn't know China enough. So I'm going to pull up a separate article.
I had a feeling it was a China flag. I was like, because there's not the stars, but it still has that part. So it is probably a gang or an alternative China flag.
Here, just so you guys see
I was right in that.
This is the official flag of the People's Liberation Army. I'll just pull up.
Oh, so it's the anti-communist flag.
The wiki on this.
I see.
But you can see here the war flag and naval jack created in 1949 for the PLA by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, at the start of the rebellion in Nanchang.
It's the okay. The flag was when PLA was created by. Okay, so it's created by them. So it's created basically as a
against the nationalist government. So boom,
basically,
there you go. Actually, it was created in
country.
It was a reference to events in August 1st, 1927, which is 8/1, right? So 8th month, August 1st, 8th month, first day, right? So 8/1. So that is the PLA flag. So people were confused. They were saying it wasn't the Chinese flag. Well, it's not the main flag, but it's the PLA flag. So that should correct a lot of questions, because that was a very common question in the comments of that video. Okay, let's continue here.
High-ranking member in the black sheep of the family.
He is not a high-ranking member.
He's not even a member.
He's not a member at all.
We are ran by our top leader, Ice Poseidon.
So we're going to get into, I'm going to let this play a little bit, but there are these photos in these notices. Now, these were created under very interesting circumstances, and I'm going to tell you about them in a second because I've done some digging and some investigation, and this does tie in. And today we are going to cover the Japanese streamers, the Japanese nuisance streamers, because this is the Somali case is beginning to tie up with them because Somali is trying to salt them. He's trying to get them stopped. He's trying to shut down all nuisance streaming because, as he says, if he can't do it, he doesn't want anybody to do it. CX, he's pointing to, this is Misgif and this is Ice Poseidon. So he's pointing to those two as the ringleaders, trying to put it on them. Once again, both of them have put distance from Johnny Somali, have disowned him. When slightly homeless, tried to call him. They said, hang up. This guy's an embarrassment. We don't want anything to do with him. That's what they've said. It's up to you guys to be your own judge as to how you feel about that. I have people in the comments that say, yeah, they're to blame. And there's people that say, well, they don't want nothing to do with him. So that's good enough for me. I don't think they're to blame anymore. That's up to you. I'm not telling you what to think. You make your own decision. Be your own judge.
He's the leader of CX and Miskiff, the leader of OTK. We are part of a live streaming international criminal mafia of nuisance streamers that have came to Japan.
So I'm going to show you guys the detailed version of this. So we're going to get into it because I've got the blown up version of this. And this is something that I believe he printed off of Twitter, or alternatively, he may have created it. And we'll talk about this, or somebody may have created this. So we'll talk about it. Somebody non-Japanese may have created this.
To bring you freedom, to bring you American values. You weak Japs will never stop us.
FYI, that is a Japanese slur. Even though it wasn't until World War II where the three-letter word for Japan, JAP, wasn't until World War II where that was actually considered a slur.
You will never stop CX. You will never stop Johnny Somali. You will never stop Ice Poseidon, Paul Danino, who was my mentor, my teacher, my leader.
So he's doxing him there. I mean, his name has already been doxed, right? So it's not like Ice hasn't been doxed, before, and people don't know his information. But once again, it's different when you see people doing it intentionally, right? You see people saying this, very, very intentionally. He's saying it knowing that
he's trying to cause them problems because he can't be in Japan, so he's gonna basically screw everyone else.
That can get him in trouble, knowing that he wants them to have people coming for him, right? He's trying to do these things. He's trying to make these things happen.
Leader. If it was not for Ice Poseidon, I would have never came to Japan. And if you try to arrest Ice Poseidon, if you try to stop Paul Danino or any of our group.
See, he's being ironic here. He's trying, if you try to stop them, that's what he wants. He wants them to try to stop him, to try to stop him. That's exactly what he wants.
If you try to stop,
he wants them to try to. He wants to try to get Japan to prevent them from doing anything.
ABZ Abdullah, the terrorist, the one that paid for all of our kick deals and steak deals. If you try to stop ABZ Abdullah, the fat fuck, I promise you I'll be back in Japan soon. You'll never.
Okay, so real quick, I want to be very clear. And by the way, shout out to the Deserto or Dex.
If soon means 5 years.
Deserto, or however you say it. I know they told me to say it was Deserto, but Deserto.
Dexterto.
But anyways, they had a good article and they quoted me on this. They quoted my video, which is awesome. By the way, we're going to be watching an infographic at the end of this on the Johnny Somali case that I'm in. And I'm going to be telling you what's kind of true and what's not true, what's accurate and not accurate. But the article got this correct, that Johnny Somali cannot enter Japan because he is a criminal in Japan. So he is banned for 5 years. So he has a hard ban for 5 years. If he goes to the airport, they won't even give him a ticket to go there. And even if they did give him a ticket somehow through a mistake or whatever else, the second he got to Japanese immigration, he'd be bounced. He'd be detained until he got a new flight, and he wouldn't be able to get into Japan. He wouldn't get past the airport. So Johnny Somali cannot come to Japan. So this threat is an empty, impotent threat. He cannot come to Japan. In 5 years, he is highly likely to be irrelevant and or in jail.
Stop Kang Joel. You'll never stop Hugh Sama, Showtime, and all these fucking leeches.
So a real important point here is this little thing. It has a lot of the kick streamers on it, including him, but it also had his friend Slightly Homeless. He doesn't mention Slightly Homeless. He leaves him out because he is his buddy. He's his bro. So he's going through talking about them names and talking about who they are and kind of doxing some of them, saying their full names. But he doesn't talk about his friend. So clearly he's trying to target those that he doesn't like in here to get them in trouble.
We will destroy Japan. And I promise you, if you arrest any of them, if you stop any of them, if you attack any of them, I will come back to Japan. And
He cannot. So this is once again, an impotent threat. This is the same type of threat as with the streamers in Japan. If you remember the streamer Gagan TV, who got his ass kicked by the Japanese guys with the bottle. That video we were
that was hilarious.
Reviewed on a live, which was great. And the clip of that, by the way, is up under my videos tab. That guy, is exactly the same sort of fake tough guy as Johnny. They make threats they can't back up. Goggin was like, yeah, these guys are a bunch of betas. They won't fight us. And literally 2 seconds later, he's running away, crying, screaming like a little girl as the guy beats him up, right? And chases him with a bottle. Same thing with Johnny here. He's saying, I'm going to come get you. And he's not even going to try to leave the country because, first of all, he can't leave Korea. That's another thing.
He's literally region locked in Korea.
He can't leave Korea. He probably won't be able to leave until 2026 at this point. And I'm not joking.
I mean, looking at it, he might be stuck for another 2 years. Because it's been, a year now? So, yeah, another 2 years, 2025, 26. He might be stuck for another 2 years in Korea. He's region locked in Korea. They took away his visa. He has no way out.
The most likely, the earliest he leaves Korea is 2026. So you don't got to worry about him. He's on the island Korea right now for the unforeseen future.
Island of Korea, where mostly every male, with a few exceptions, have taken military service for at least 2 years. So it's not a great place to be in.
So therefore, I think
it's also mandatory as well.
This is completely impotent. He's making a threat he has no ability to back up.
I will bring.
However, I forgot to mention this. What I think his plan is, and this is something that I can now percolate. I can now talk about. I think his plan is to try to disrupt the kick streamers when they come to Korea. Let me say it again. I think he's going to try to cause an incident for clout when they come to Korea because he wants the attention. He wants whatever. So when they come to Korea, because most likely they're going to need to renew their visas at some point because they're trying to be 100 days in Japan. They can only spend 90. They're going to have to come to Korea. I think Busan. They'll probably take the boat, right? Because that's better streaming content than a plane. They'll come over on the boat and he'll try to create some sort of incident when they get there. I think that might happen. I think that's the plan.
Honestly, wouldn't be too far-fetched because he's jealous everyone else can do whatever and that he can't. So he's going to try to maybe remove herself if they can't go back to Japan and they're stuck in Korea as well or something like that.
All of them may come. Some of them may come. I think all of them will come because they all will need to renew their visas. None of them have legal long-term visas in Japan. None of them. So they're going to have to come there. So he may try.
I mean, you could go to Taiwan. That's the closest area out to Japan. So they could try Taiwan and avoid Korea altogether, or go to Thailand, somewhere else.
Try to interrupt them or attack them or do something for clout. Particularly, joined by his lover boy and other disruptors. So that's going to be the content, as the kids call it, right? Whenever they're annoying and abrasive and screaming and calling each other, all sorts of ad hominems, that's content for them, right? That's content, peak content.
Back vengeance. Remember how there was 2 atomic bombs? Remember how there was.
So now he's doing the same thing. By the way, that's exactly what pissed off the Japanese people.
Yeah, don't bring up the atomic bombs unless you're actually talking about history, like a history class or something like that.
He is referencing the bombing of Japan. He's trying to do this once again. As a reminder, he went around Japan in general, Tokyo, Osaka, other places, with speakers playing, spamming text-to-speech, Hiroshima, Nagasaki on the metro,
Yeah.
outdoors, everywhere in Japan.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki, I was the little boy. CX is the fat man. They came to bring revenge for locking me up and falsely.
They
They don't care. They don't like you.
don't care. So CX is glad he's getting locked up at this point. They want him to go to jail. Most people openly wish him to go to jail at this point. They want him to be locked up. I think I was talking with Zena, and she was like, yeah, I want him to go to jail. I'm like, yeah, okay, so do I. Cool, we're on the same team. So
don't we all want him to go to jail?
Most people at this point who are streamers, who are kick streamers, want him to be put away because he's a bad example, and he's setting a bad example for all of them and dragging all of them down. If he's
And the worst part, he's setting a bad example for Americans. He's an American, and he's presenting himself as America. Look the hat he's wearing. He's also presenting himself as just setting a bad example for Americans in general.
He's not punished if he's allowed to go free, and particularly if he's allowed back on Kick, he's going to create a horrible image for that platform. So yes, I'm not making it a definitive statement here. I'm just saying that from what I've heard of streams, for example, in the stream where Slightly Homeless called Ice Poseidon said it himself. He said, we don't want nothing to do with that guy. That's what Ice said. That's what Suspended said. That's what all the other people that were there said. I think Sam Pepper was there too. They all said it. So it wasn't just one of them saying we want nothing to do with Johnny. It was more of them.
And locking up Louis X. Japan. It's fucking CX till I fucking die. You dumbass.
So this, in case you guys don't know, this is not the current Japanese flag. This is the Imperial War flag. It's the battle flag, the Rising Sun flag. So it's not really the current like national flag of Japan. So he's using it.
It's their military flag.
He's intentionally trying to be inflammatory. I mean, mind you, he's standing behind a PLA flag. He's using this as his background, the Chinese People Liberation Army flag, because him and his roomie / possible lover Hank are currently praising China, praising the CCP and Xi Jinping, and they're trash talking South Korea and trash talking Koreans in general as a race. And they're currently promoting the racial superiority of Chinese. That's what both Johnny and Hank are doing currently.
Japan. Suck our suckers. Us streamers, we run your fucking country.
No, they do not. No.
No,
they do not.
And make sure.
There's no chat, by the way. This was pre-recorded. So him saying CX in the chat is it's pretty brain dead.
Mizkif, this is the leader of OTK. This is the top general. These are the two top leaders. This is the CX vice president and the president right here. You need to get Mizkif and you need to get Paul Danino Ice Poseidon. Nigga, CX in the motherfucking chat. I love you, Paul Danino. You're my mentor, my leader, everything.
See that smiling? He's like trolling. He knows he's trolling here.
Sayonara. Please fuck up Japan for me. I'll be back soon.
He will not be back soon at all.
He'll be back in 5 years, but that is not the definition of soon.
So that's his first video. So we're going to be breaking down some elements of this. So let's talk about what some of the suspicious stuff. So one thing I wanted to bring up was this.
Hi, Sophie. I think we all hate him very much so. And what it looks like is he's going to be there for another 2 years.
List. So we see this list over here with Johnny. Let me just share this window with you and you'll be able to see it here. Okay. So he has this list of streamers. You guys can see it here, right? So here's it is. Here's a list of streamers. So this is a document that it was circulating widely across the internet. And what got me curious was where the hell did this come from? So I looked over and Asmongold even reviewed a video looking at this. He actually reviewed this video from Drama Alert, right? So Drama Alert posted this. So Japanese citizens have released a wanted poster for kick streamers. And so you see here the list in this. And then you get the name of the account, which is Yamazu Korisha, right? So I went and tracked that down, and I tracked down the what was the original posting on Twitter. Now, this is something you got to be very careful of. With Twitter, you never know who's who. You never know who creates an account. And actually, related to Johnny Somali and a lot of these people, there have been a lot of fake accounts. There have been a lot of people that are not in the country that they're in, saying they're in that country. This is a huge problem for Japan. There's been a massive problem for Japan. There are several Twitter accounts that know that Japanese content, because Japan is trending, so many tourists are going to Japan. Japan, actually, fun fact, has passed Thailand in the amount of tourists. And that's not because no tourists are going to Thailand. That's because so many people are going to Japan. They're overwhelmed. That is an insane number of people. Their tourist infrastructure does not have the capacity to service those people in the high traffic spots. The problem is Japanese tourists are not spreading out. They're not going to the Inaka, the countryside, right? They're not going to the countryside. They're going to Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and that's it. Maybe one or two other places, but they're just going in.
Shinbayu? Why not go to the countryside? Honestly, if I went, countryside probably better than the city. Less busy. Bit nicer.
Now they're in Sapporo. Everyone's there for the snow festival. Their infrastructure is really not built for that many people, and they're kind of overwhelmed. Their police are overwhelmed. Their public services are overwhelmed.
I would imagine so.
The transit networks are overwhelmed. And that's a real big problem. But people see that and they create these X accounts pretending they're Japanese. The thing is, it's pretty clear when, especially for native Japanese, when people are LARPing or pretending to be Japanese, and they may or may not actually be Japanese. So I ended up going to this profile, ended up talking to this individual behind the scenes, and they claim they have not said whether they're of Japanese nationality. And my thought is they're probably not. They say they have friends and family in Japan, but they communicated to me entirely in English, but then they proceeded to tell me that their English wasn't so good. So I'm confused because they have this thing here. They posted this. This is where Drama Alert got it from. But when you see one of the posts, I think it's this one. Hold on, I'll show it to you. Yeah, here it is. A Japanese person is questioning their posts because it's a new account. It's a very new account. And they're saying here, who are you? You're clearly not Japanese. Your Japanese text seems very odd. Your text may be based on English, translated into Japanese using a machine translator. Who the heck are you and what is your purpose? And they make a misspelling there because probably they're, once again, Japanese. So they're trying to translate it over. So whether or not this person is Japanese is out there. And the other thing that's very interesting is that Johnny is not currently a Kick streamer. So I think the reason why they included Johnny in this is
because he is banned, for one.
For the sensational amount. Johnny is the black sheep. Johnny is the worst one here. And obviously they included him because he's going to get people.
Oh, hello, Mario Mata. What is up? We're just going over Johnny Somali.
People pissed off because they're going to all associate them with Johnny. So this is something that, to an extent, Johnny Somali might want to put out himself. So I'm not saying Johnny put this out, but somebody could have put this out who was affiliated with Johnny or whatever else. And I'm not sure whether this person created this or they got this or whatever else. But here you go. It's got the listing of all these people: Johnny Somali, Ice Poseidon, Tamin 1998, ABZ, Slightly Homeless, King Joel, Hyob-sama, Showtime, Sam Pepper, Lord Hito, Gagan TV. He's the one who got his ass kicked. Murat Style. And then we've got over here the second page, which is Ice Poseidon, Lord Hito, and Gagan TV right here. So that's the Japanese streamers well right there. So you've got that one as well. So whether or not this is like the origins of this, it kind of peaked a little flag for me. Once again, the person says they want Johnny to go to jail. So I said, okay, cool. That's what I want too. But we'll see. Yeah. Suspendus is not on that list. Yes. Okay. So one thing I want to point out here, let's go to this little tabby tab. So we have over here Johnny with the flag, right? So you have Johnny with the flag. And you see clearly the flag here.
Which is the People's Liberation Army flag of China, which is a pro-communist flag with a
the PLA flag, right? So we're gonna scroll up here on my page, and we're gonna go to our good boy Hanky.
No, this.
Okay, so here's Hanky.
Oh, the self-hating Korean.
Poo. And this is once again one of Hanky Poo's videos where he is smashing Korea. He's trash talking Korea in favor of the CCP.
Which is odd because Hank is Korean and he's smashing Korea, which he was born into, and so you're hating your own country. Why?
I want you to pay attention to the flag that's behind him.
You know what? Fuck this. That's more like it, right?
Wow. Guys, that looks really familiar. That flag and the positioning, even the cabinet, even in certain frames, you see there's a photo here. When he moves around, you'll be able to see it better. But there's a photo that matches up. It's really weird how that matches perfectly. Even the roof here, like everything, the roof tile color. Wow, it's almost like they're in the same room.
It's almost like it's the same house or apartment or something.
Hell yeah. 向前，向前，向前，我们的队伍。
So this is, I'm not going to play his bad singing, but this is Hank simping for the CCP here in a very embarrassing manner.
Embarrassing is an understatement.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Also, some other really sad stuff, which is totally cringe. There's another video here of Hank with his baton. Now I say this one's more relevant because Hank in Discord, let me see if this one's going to play. There you go. So Hank has said that he's going to bring weapons and he's going to confront the other streamers. So he's actually said he's going to confront the Korean streamers with weapons. So apparently he has his little baton, his little love stick here. And he waves it around and tries to act tough with it. And he claims.
My question: does he know how to use it?
He's going to bring the baton and smash everybody's head in, beat their brains out with this baton. By the way, this right here, he was disarmed in like 15 seconds by random Koreans. In fact, it was a Korean girl, I believe, who disarmed him. So
you got owned by a girl. And you try to act tough, and you got basically beat up or disarmed by a girl. That's rough.
I mean, for tough fighter Hank, who says he's going to smash Dalgoon's head in, getting disarmed in 15 seconds.
By a girl.
Oh, that's great. It's totally cringe. It's completely cringe. Yeah, he dances around with it. It's really embarrassing. I'm not going to play it. He's playing the CCP anthem, and I'm not going to forward his propaganda and filleting of that regime. But that's a big update there. I think it's very material that they are staying together. I mean, this could end up, depending on the situation they get in, where Hank, takes some liability for Johnny, and for people who come a knocking looking for Johnny, may come running into Hank because they're staying together. So it's like you find one, you find both, right? And furthermore, there's documents that are being delivered to this address, and we now know,
hey, two birds, one stone,
that the address where the documents are being delivered is Hank's address. Right. So there's that. So Hank is getting the documents, and it's kind of funny because apparently Hank, who may be getting documents in Korean, is somehow not translating them properly or quick enough to Johnny. So, we know that Hank has received certain documents in Korean and Johnny hasn't known about it. So there may be some lovers' quarrels. Hopefully that baton doesn't end up in bad places. But it creates a very interesting scenario with Hank and Johnny. Very, very interesting.
Modern geniuses think twice. Rule breakers second guess. And visionary.
All right. So that's that. Oh. I might cover this one next week or something. But I was gonna cover this next week as well. Because they mentioned that, but I will cover this because it's actually kind of depressing that this is another Korean self-deletion, which my hope is not that her death isn't sad, it is, but that she isn't friends with IU, because about every single celebrity or singer that has died recently she's been good friends with or very close to. So it's very sad. All right, that's going to be the end of the stream this week. I will talk to you next week, either with it. Right, okay, one thing is this. So this where is it? Okay. So yeah, MADEIn is, assuming a news comes out next week on MADEIn, I will talk about that, but if no news, Johnny maybe, or something else that comes up that week, but I will see you next week, unless there's a news Friday that happens, then I will talk to you later. Bye.
Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And the quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live.
That is a really...
Can you get over the roof there?
Oh my.
Oh my, what a play, what a grab!
Another jump here on the high ground. Super goes forward, but gets stuck off. The EMP comes in, and ding, he rains down hell from above.
Here comes Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one.
Tuno down again. That heralds disaster generally for the Fusion. And Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet, he's killed 4 players now on his own.
From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound is huge. Another bomb coming from John. Oh my God, he does it again.
Flutter now moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot after headshot after headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. We're gonna try and circle around. I'm gonna call this the merry-go-round because it makes me laugh. Makes me happy, and Sean Paul switches to the Widowmaker at just the right time.
Oh, the Raven!
best jersey in the world.
You could have told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.
Sorry.
All right, I will see ya.